All right, guys, so we've got some massive updates when it comes to the Nintendo Switch 2 with Nintendo Switch 1 games running on the Nintendo Switch 2 in handheld mode. There was a huge flaw with it before, and that has now been fixed, making the Nintendo Switch 2 the definitive system to play Switch 1 games overall, because you can play in dock mode looking good. You can now play in handheld mode, taking advantage of what the Nintendo Switch 2 does in order to make the games look better, because they were having issues before. So we're going to get into all of the details with that, how you turn it on, what's going on with it, and so much more. We've got big updates with AAA titles like Resident Evil Requiem. We've got some other updates to go over, so it's going to be very nice. But before we continue on, we are giving away a Nintendo Switch 2. All you have to do to enter is hit that subscribe button if you aren't already subscribed, and drop a comment below. We are giving away a Nintendo Switch 2 once we hit 150,000 subscribers, and it will be random. So the more that you actually comment and interact, the better chance that you have to win. Hit that like button, click that notification bell, and let's go ahead and jump right back into it. Let's start off with Nintendo Switch 2 firmware update 22. So here are the notes. We're going to go over them pretty much fast style here. Then we'll focus in on the big mode, which is the handheld boost mode that Nintendo's calling it. So version 22.00 changed on the on text and animations when you load a virtual game card in the home menu, added the ability to save notes about friends on your friends list. The note content is not displayed to friends, added the ability to see and edit these notes from the Nintendo Switch app. The app must be on version 3.3 or higher to use the feature. The following features were added to support game chat. Some nice game chat updates here, guys. So, added the ability to invite friends to game chat rooms you're participating in. Some friends may not be able to be invited, such as supervised accounts. Friends that haven't finished game chat initial setup can now be invited to game chat. Some friends may not be able to be invited, such as supervised accounts or those who haven't used a Nintendo Switch 2. It may take a while for these changes to be reflected after updating your console to the system version. Improvements were made for the quality of the game shared in a game chat when expanded. So that's nice because it's kind of choppy, but you know, it's one of those things that's a big system drain. But those are big updates to game chat rooms, now being able to invite people and all of that in there. So if you have a lot of parties that you're with all of your friends, that's definitely nice. Okay, we got more updates to go over here, guys. Added the ability to rewind 10 seconds / advance 10 seconds with the ZL and ZR buttons when watching a full screen video in news or Nintendo eShop. Added the option to add the following data to automatic uploads from album, clip video, video saved as a screenshot, and screenshot with added text. Added Portuguese, Portugal, and Russian to game chat voice, speech to text languages in accessibility. Text to speech under accessibility can now read as text in album and during the first time setup. Please see the Nintendo Switch 2 first time setup and connection for instructions on how to turn text to speech on in the first time setup. Added the ability to see the breakdown of storage capacity by data type for the system memory and micro SD express card. That's going to be valuable considering the amount of big games that are coming out that have a lot of data or game key cards. You're going to want to have optimizations for that. Added the ability to perform an audio test when linear PCM 5.1 surround is selected for TV sound and audio, which is nice. Changed the Hong Kong, Taiwan, South Korea region to Hong Kong, Taiwan, South Korea, Southeast Asia in device. Okay, we've got some more here with the added handheld boost mode, which we're going to go over in detail as well, to the Nintendo Switch software handling in system. So handheld boost mode will cause compatible Switch software to run as if in TV mode, so certain functionality may be affected. Please see the on-device description for more details. The following features were also added to airplane mode. When airplane mode is activated, the previously set preferences for Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, or NFC airplane mode will be saved and applied. Added the ability to individually enable or disable Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, or NFC during airplane mode from quick settings. That is a nice thing to have when you travel, and very much a really cool thing. So people that travel a lot and you have to put it in airplane mode, you know that is a nice update there. Plus you have the age patented old favorite, general system stability improvements to enhance the user's experience. Let's go. Okay, let's talk more about this handheld boost mode. This is the big thing that everyone is excited about online, and of course I'm excited about for big games that definitely would look a lot better in handheld mode now because of this when it comes to Switch 1 titles. So how to use handheld boost mode on Nintendo Switch 2. So follow these steps to enable or disable handheld boost mode setting on Nintendo Switch 2. Information: when enabled, handheld boost mode causes the performance of Nintendo Switch software while undocked to run as if it were being played in TV mode. So complete these steps in order to get it done. 1. Select system setting in the home menu. Scroll down to the system setting menu and select system. Scroll down on the right and select Nintendo Switch software handling. Select handheld mode boost to enable or disable this setting. Additional information: while enabling this setting can result in improved visuals, it may also increase the system's power consumption, so look out for that battery getting drained even more. The effect of handheld boost mode will vary based on the software. Some Nintendo Switch software will be unaffected, and this option has no effect on software for the Nintendo Switch 2 because the Nintendo Switch 2 software already runs adapted for the Switch 2 screen, whereas Switch 1 software, because the max resolution in handheld mode was 720p compared to the 1080p, it made games look wonky or soft. Now what you can do is you can take that max resolution of how they were on Nintendo Switch 1, so if that's dynamic 1080p or 900p or whatever the case is, and it now adapts that better for the Nintendo Switch 2 when playing a Switch 1 game handheld on your Switch 2. So that's awesome. That's such a good thing that they added in there. Now, because this option forces TV mode operation, some instructions may be incorrect or fail to operate correctly. Handheld boost mode may prevent Nintendo Switch software from using the system's touchscreen and will cause attached Joy-Con 2 controllers to be treated as a Nintendo Switch 2 Pro controller. So keep that in mind. To use other controllers, first detach the Switch 2 Joy-Con controllers from the console, then you'll be able to play it there. So very good update here. Many people actually talked to me about this, about Nintendo potentially enabling a mode like this to where you would get a better image when playing a game like Bayonetta 3, for example, and how that looks pretty soft in handheld mode if you're playing it on your Switch 2, because that game runs at 60 FPS on the Switch 2. On the Switch 1, it targets 60 FPS, but it does not hit it consistently. It just can't keep up. But on Switch 2, it runs a lot better. Now on the undocked play on Switch 2 with a game like Bayonetta 3, for example, it's going to run obviously better, which we know, but it's going to look significantly better now because it's going to be running the docked mode, but in handheld mode. Now, while this update when it comes to handheld boost mode does not fix everything with games like Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Xenoblade Chronicles 3, and Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition, it does look better and will run locked in at the 30 FPS. So you are going to get a better look because you're going to get that docked mode on the portable. Those games have struggled with low portable resolution, especially Xenoblade Chronicles 2, and you're going to get that solid frame rate that's locked in at 30 without some of those dips that you would usually see if you're playing the game on the Nintendo Switch 1. So we still need proper updates for these Xenoblade Chronicles games, but right now it is better compared to where it was before with this handheld boost mode on the Nintendo Switch 2 with these Xenoblade Chronicles games. So that is a awesome addition here, and I'm very excited that Nintendo added this, as many people were complaining about this, especially if you play a lot of Switch 1 games in handheld mode, because why wouldn't you want to take advantage of the extra GPU, CPU horsepower that the Nintendo Switch 2 has for your Nintendo Switch 1 software? You're going to get better performance in pretty much every single major game for the most part. Now, some games are hard capped at 30, so you're not going to really get much more performance there. So this is a very good update. It makes it the definitive place, in my opinion, to play your Switch 1 software, just because you have that physical compatibility and you have the digital compatibility. Your library carries over from Switch 1 and all of that. There were like handheld PCs where you can run different emulators and stuff, but now, to me at least, if you want to be able to have physical games that you can go out there and use physical that you already have, plus your digital library, transferring over everything, this handheld boost mode and all of that, it makes it a great place to play your Switch 1 library. And I think that this pretty much nails one of the final things for people that they need outside of the big games. Of course, you want the big games that are coming, but this nails one of those final pieces to get people to say, okay, I will move on from Nintendo Switch 1 and go to Nintendo Switch 2 now with this. Because some people were saying, oh, well, I'd rather play the games on the Nintendo Switch 1 because of this, because I like to play handheld a lot more. Well, now this fixes a lot of it, unless the battery life stuff. Obviously, Switch 1's going to have better battery life there, but still, very good update when it comes down to it overall. A lot of people are reporting that a lot of the games are looking and running better. So great to see. And it's something that's going to lead into this year already being pretty exciting when it comes to Nintendo Switch 2 stuff. So I am hyped for it. So we're going to move on to the next thing here, guys. We're going to talk about Resident Evil Requiem. We've got to discuss what's going on, because just like this update helps out when it comes to Switch 1 software, improving things, well, Resident Evil 9 got an update as well, 1.1.1 for the Nintendo Switch 2, and it does help out a bit with the hair quality and some of the frame rate here and there, the playability of the game. It was already a game that was impressive running on a hybrid system where you can play a big AAA game portable, and that's awesome. Obviously, you have the PS5 Pro. It looks incredible on there. The Xbox Series X looks great on there. The game is awesome no matter what platform you play it on. And this is the first time, which I've talked about before in Twitter posts, but this is the first time that there has been a major mainline new Resident Evil game that is launched day and date on Xbox, PlayStation, PC, and the Nintendo Switch 2, or Nintendo more like it. Think about it. Think about how long Resident Evil has been a thing when it comes to the franchise. It's been around for decades, 30 plus years now at this point, and we've never got a simultaneous launch on all the different major players. There's always been different types of, okay, it launches here first, or it's exclusive here, then it comes over later, or there's other things when it comes to new Resident Evil games, or just skips out on Nintendo altogether. That's what it's been like for the last number of big Resident Evil games. It'll be Xbox, PlayStation, and PC. But of course, Nintendo had a system that wasn't quite powerful enough to be able to handle it. They had to do cloud versions and stuff like that. But now there's finally a system. They've got the RE engine running and looking good on there. So I'm excited for the future of the RE engine and for future Capcom games. There's been rumors about Onimusha, the new one, coming over to Nintendo Switch 2, and if they're making these optimizations to the RE engine and getting things to run and look better, you can bet that they want to bring over a game like Onimusha. They want to bring over a lot of their big titles. Capcom has 3 games in a row running on the Nintendo Switch 2 when it comes to big titles. Yes, Monster Hunter Stories 3 could have been better. I don't know what happened there when it comes to that game, but when it comes to Pragmata and Resident Evil 9, both of those are running and looking good based off of what we've played already and the demo with Pragmata. So they just need to kind of update a little bit with Monster Hunter Stories 3. But outside of that, it's still a good game. People are still going to pick it up there. It's selling well enough, at least at the start here. Resident Evil looking better, running better, and being able to be played anywhere that you want is a great update overall. So what do you guys think when it comes to Resident Evil, the update, the hair quality being fixed, looking a lot better here? Let me know in the comment section below. But speaking of looking a lot better and updated quality, upgraded PSSR for the PlayStation 5 Pro. I have a PS5 Pro. I like the system a lot. We've got a new launch date, March 17, across multiple third-party games. Silent Hill F, Monster Hunter Wilds, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Crimson Desert, and more are all getting hit with this PSSR blast. So the upgraded PlayStation Spectral Super Resolution for PlayStation 5 Pro, which is fully integrated with the latest PlayStation 5 system software update, will begin rolling out in phases starting March 16th, 10 p.m. PT. So already rolling out for some people. March 17th, 1 a.m. ET. So go check. It should be up. Sony Interactive Entertainment announced updates that introduced official support for the upscaler are also rolling out to several third-party titles at the same time. So let's talk about some of these games here. Capcom, Dragon's Dogma 2, Monster Hunter Wilds, Electronic Arts, Dragon Age The Veilguard. Nobody cares about that, I think, anymore. Koei Tecmo, Neo 3, Rise of the Ronin from Sony Interactive Entertainment. Nice. Konami, Silent Hill 2, Silent Hill F. I want to get into those Silent Hill games. Silent Hill F looks pretty good. I might check that game out. Ninja Theory, Senua's Saga, Hellblade 2, Remedy, Control, Alan Wake 2. Nice for both of those. Square Enix, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Nice. So additional supported titles are coming soon, including Assassin's Creed Shadows, Crimson Desert. That support will be available at launch. That game is launching very soon here. Cyberpunk 2077, which is already insane on the PlayStation 5 Pro. So I'm hyped for the upgrades that are coming. I might go back and check out some of these third-party games that I do have on my PlayStation 5 Pro now. So for games that have yet to receive an official update to support the upgraded upscaler, support can be unofficially applied to all games that already support PlayStation Spectral Super Resolution via the enhanced PSSR image quality toggle in the PlayStation 5 Pro system settings. While results may vary by title, many games may see improvements to clarity and image stability. If it results in any unexpected visual effects, it can be turned off at any time. So here are a few examples of the upgraded spectral super resolution from third-party studios. You're going to be seeing some of the different shots here, and it's good stuff, man. It's good to see that the upgrades are coming through. I think games like Silent Hill F look a little bit better. I mean, it's not anything earth-shattering when it comes to the upscaler here. It's not as good as DLSS. I guess people are clowning the new DLSS, but it's not as good as the previous one. But yeah, I think it's dope. I think it's dope that they're adding this, and I have a PS5 Pro, so it's going to be cool. I'm set with the PS5 Pro. I think that they're just really getting going when it comes to what they can even do with the PS5 Pro. So there's a lot of talk about next generation and next Xboxes and next PlayStation 6 and $1,000 systems, and I'm like, bro, I'm too close to the $1,000 right now with a PS5 Pro with a disk drive. I mean, you're looking at $750 plus tax plus the $80 for the disk drive. If you want PSN, that's another $80. I mean, you're looking at $1,000 to really just get going before you even get into the games, you know. So for me, I'm set when it comes to Switch 2 and PlayStation 5 Pro. I think those are very good systems, and a lot of games are going to come to those systems, and I don't even have time to be playing all the stuff that they're going to be coming out with. So for me, I'm set. I'm glad Sony's doing this for PS5 Pro. So what do you guys think when it comes to everything that we talked about here? A lot of good stuff. Let me know in the comment section below. All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up for this video here. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Please make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you're someone new, click that notification bell, and check out my other Nintendo Switch 2 RPG content and more right here on screen. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you guys for the next one. Peace.